This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
We turn now to a shocking new investigation of rampant sexual violence against Yemeni detainees held in prisons run by the United Arab Emirates in Yemen. The Associated Press reports that in March, 15 officers lined up the prisoners in the southern city of Aden and ordered them to undress before searching their anal cavities, claiming they were looking for contraband cell phones. The men screamed and cried, and those who resisted were beaten and threatened by dogs. Hundreds of detainees reportedly suffered similar abuse. Witnesses told the AP that detainees were raped while other guards filmed the assaults. AP also reports that Yemeni guards working under Emirati officers electrocuted prisoners' genitals and sexually violated others with wooden and steel poles. A Pentagon spokesman quoted in the piece said the allegations were not substantiated.
The UAE is a key ally of the United States and has partnered with Saudi Arabia in its military assault on Yemen. Last year, AP exposed the existence of secret prisons run by the United Arab Emirates in Yemen, where torture was widespread. For more, we're going to Cairo to speak with Maggie Michel, the AP journalist who wrote the expose. The headline, "Detainees Held Without Charges Decry Emiratis' Sexual Abuses." Welcome to Democracy Now! Maggie, talk about what you found.
Hi. Our investigation started in 2016, and since that time we have been speaking to witnesses, to security officials, families, and finally in this investigation we managed to speak to prisoners inside the prisons. They're talking about how sexual abuse is being used as a way to extract confessions and sometimes to turn them into informants to the Emiratis who are supervising and running prisons directly or indirectly through their own allies of security forces they set up in southern Yemen. Our investigation last year exposed a network of 18 prisons in cities of Aden and Mukalla. And our investigation this year found that of these prisons, at least 5, there's a lot of sexual abuse happening to detainees. And what's different this time is that we also spoke to officials who were at one point allied with the Emiratis. They were working for them, and then they defected. Their testimonies were very important to confirm what the prisoners and what the families have been saying all the time. That they're being held without charges, no trials. Even those who were granted prosecutors like orders to be released, they still kept in detention. The officials, and I mean one of them at least, was involved in the torture. He confirmed that they were filming detainees while being raped in order to press them, in order to turn them into informants.
Well, can you say, Maggie, the drawings, some of which our television viewers can now see, the drawings that you received from the prisoners, how you got access to those drawings?
The thing is that we communicated with the prisoners inside Bir Ahmed in Aden, southern Yemen. And one of them is a really good artist who, in order to answer my questions about what exactly is happening, he decided to show it to me by drawing positions of torture, abuse, and then took pictures and then by phones and then sent them by WhatsApp. And this is how we got them, and lately they have been finding it hard to use the same way, and we relied more on text messages from inside the prison.
Maggie, you were told by some prisoners that the American personnel in the prisons were there in uniform and must be aware of the torture. One senior security official at the prison in the city of Mukalla said in your piece, Americans use Emiratis as gloves to do their dirty work. Explain what U.S. involvement is.
Based on what we had last year and this year, Americans are in main base of Emiratis in Yemen. So this is including Mukalla, Balhaf in Shawa, and there's a place called Bureka. These have American interrogators. There are American personnel in uniform. There are also mercenaries, including Americans. The main mission is interrogation. And what we were told also that torture does not happen in front of the Americans, but they are aware of it, either by hearing people being tortured or by seeing marks of torture on their bodies. What this official in Rayyan, in Mukalla, told me is that Americans are aware of what's happening, and they're not only aware, they're actually part of it. And instead of doing the torture themselves in order to get confessions, they're using the Emiratis to do the dirty work.
And Maggie, can you talk about the role of the United Arab Emirates? I mean, now it's taken a leading role in the Saudi assault on Yemen, in particular its assault on Hodeidah, the crucial port of Hodeidah.
This is the dilemma of the Yemeni government. On one side, it needs the Emiratis because it's leading the forces that are fighting the Houthi rebels who occupied northern Yemen since 2015 in order to liberate and take over Hodeidah port from the Houthis. Hodeidah is known as the mouth of Yemen. This is where most of the humanitarian aid and imports get through northern Yemen, where the strong majority of the population is concentrated. So the port is very important for the two sides, for the government and for the Houthis. So the government needs and relies on the Emiratis in taking over Hodeidah. At the same time, in southern Yemen, where the government should be having the upper hand, instead the Emiratis have taken the lead. They set up their own militias in every single city. Each of these militias have their own tribal and regional agenda, and they set up prisons. They took control. It undermined to a great extent the Yemeni government. And until just last week, the president of Yemen was barred from returning to the government for nearly a year. He was in Saudi Arabia, and we reported that based on his own aides and commanders, he couldn't get back to Yemen because the Emiratis didn't want him to return.
Maggie, we just have 30 seconds. We just have 30 seconds, and I just wanted to quickly ask, is the U.S. involved with giving lists of names of Yemenis to the Emiratis to jail?
The Americans have a list of most wanted men, but not every single man arrested by the Emiratis are on the list. The Emiratis are trying to get information about the men in the list through mass arrest.
Maggie Michaud, we want to thank you for being with us. We're going to link to your piece. Maggie is a reporter for Associated Press. Her latest piece, Detainees Held Without Charges Decry Emiratis' Sexual Abuses. We'll also link to her last year's piece, In Yemen's Secret Prisons, UAE Tortures, and U.S. Interrogates. That's all for the show. Democracy Now! Produced by Mike Burke, Renee Feltz, Nermeen Sheikh, Carla Wills, Laura Gottesdiener, Sam Alcoff, John Hamilton, Robbie Karen. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh. Thanks for joining us.